'cause I'll be ready to start again. Another year of 12, perhaps more, different vacuum cleaners. I think so, because it is time to say goodbye to Henry. Let's see how he fared. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums, season salutations to you all. It is the 1st of January and I've had a month with a Henry which has been absolutely perfect in every way and was a joy to use. So thank you very much for watching and I shall see you soon. Bye bye. Only joking, of course. That's basically what this video will be saying, but we need to actually have a look over and quantify those unscientific assumptions. Yes, this is completely overkill for my house, I'll be honest. Even with the short hose that this has fitted, I spent most of the time with him in 1 or 2 places and vacuumed around, so it's, yeah, very overkill, but very competent. There's been nothing that I've thrown at Henry, and we haven't thrown much at him actually. It's been quite a chilled out month. He's a bit dusty. He is coped absolutely fine. Underneath is still as spotless as the day I refurbished him. The filter is the same. Obviously it never came up 100%, but obviously it's perfectly good. Oh, here's the small tools that I chucked in this morning so I could remember them. Put that back on there. They've all had some use actually. The crevice tool now has a couple of little scratches on it because we've been using it, and the dusting brush has been trodden on, so it doesn't quite fit on as well as it should. It's not too bad now, but it went through a period of having to squeeze it down. This is a very nice dusting brush. I've dusted a lot with it. Does the trick. Here is the bag, which actually has a fair bit of dirt in it. Let's just close that up, bring it down to the bottom. There's a healthy globule in there. I haven't really vacuumed out any sort of machines either with it, so what's in there is actual bona fide proper dirt, which is quite nice to see. And inside there, spotless. Just wiped a little bit off of the hose inlet, really. This isn't going to be a very difficult video, is it? We'll put that there. Oh, and we'll put that there. Marvellous. The hose, this has been a bit of a problem because it's been doing that a lot. I forgot to glue this into there, so I've had to screw it back on occasionally, which isn't too difficult to do really, but I had to glue that up at some point. The hose cuff has split, which is a bit of a shame, but it seems to it holds on fine, so I'm just leaving that really, because well, there's no point in worrying about it too much. This floor tool, this was the other reason that I wanted to daily one of these for a month, is because I've never used the old style single pedal floor tool, and it's lovely actually. It even grooms our rug quite well. It's very nice to use. It glides around everywhere, changes really easily. Perhaps the only real issue with mine is the air leak coming from somewhere, but it doesn't actually seem to affect it, you know, that much. It still picked up everything that it was asked for, even on the carpets. It's very nice. Obviously you can see why these are the contractual cleaner of choice for many people. And yeah, basically he hasn't blown up, so the motor surgery worked well. Still sounds the same as it did with that little wobble on wind down, so whether the armature is possibly a little bit bent, I'm not entirely sure, but it doesn't seem to affect him. He doesn't get hot in prolonged running. We've had him on for quite a while maybe when I've given it to Charlie to go and vacuum somewhere else while I do something else. And he hasn't got any hotter than he should, so I think he is fine, really. He's all good. He's my little Henry, and he now needs to go away somewhere out of the way, possibly in a box to be forgotten about until another day, because I was going to sell him, but I think the problem is I'm never going to get one this good again. Unless we put the tools down there, you can't even see them. So I think, certainly not today. I won't sell him now. He can go in a box, be packed away safely, and we'll do something with him in the future, because I have many machines to do. But obviously that's his Henry, the outgoing. Nothing in that video should have really surprised you. But what are we going to use for January? Well, I've had to think about that. I'll come up with something that I wanted to use. And what I want to use is my old daily, the Miele automatic TT5000, or to give it its official name, the S5510. This is the second from the very top of the S5 range. So it doesn't have a powered hose. It's got an auto function and manual speed adjustment. Obviously it can take a power hose. There's a socket there. In fact, we should possibly fit the cover back to the socket, which you do by putting the bottom in first, I think. Was it? No, it's definitely the bottom in first. There we go. Which you put in there, and she's a little bit used, she's a little bit battle scarred now. Let me take you closer and we'll have a look at what I have. Because you've seen this before, obviously. I paid a tenner for it many years ago now, and it was in a terrible state. And although cosmetically, you know, it's not fantastic, the main problem is these pedals. The S5 series do this. The paint just wears off the pedals, and there's not a lot you can do about it bar put new pedals on them, which are very expensive. And all this should just rub off. We haven't got the proper thing, even just with a slight damp cloth. That's rubbing off, so that will all be okay. We have all three of the tools. We have the upholstery brush, have the crevice tool, and the dusting brush. That's the nice style as well, with the proper soft bristles, not the hard horrible one that they did before. I don't think the bag piston works because it's been glued, so I might need to get another one of those. Inside we have a bag. Actually, this is a good thing because I've been through probably about 3 boxes of bags with this. We're about halfway through the 4th when I stopped using it, and apart from a little bit up there, which might have been from when the bag door's been opened, a little puss gone up. Inside there is pretty spotless. If I was being very thorough, there is a little dusting of dust, but it's only ever had genuine bags in it in my ownership. This was not too old actually, because we lent it to Amy's sister when she was moving house and needed a vacuum because her Dyson DC24 wasn't really doing very well. So she's used it quite recently. Post filter is just black, so that's fine. That's the carbon dust. But apart from that, I don't need to change the bag. It's not been used in 2 years. The bag is quite fresh, so I gave her a couple of bags, so she filled up the bag that it had, and then fitted this one and didn't use it for very long. If I remember rightly, it's been a while. The cord rewind works okay. The cable's a bit cold because it's been in the car. Ooh. And it should in auto, if ramps up. It's one of those ones that ramps up and then down with a blockage, rather than starting lower and getting higher the more of a blockage it has. So that all works fine. It's very nice to have a familiar vacuum because I'm a Miele person. I'll be honest, I was very nearly a SIBO person. It was many years ago now, and it was bonus month, and I had in a basket somewhere a SIBO Airbelt K3, I think it was the Volcano, the orange one with the controls on the handle but the straight suction head. It was a very good price and I very nearly bought it. Then I got a black one of these for Free Cycle, fixed that up, and we kept that for many years. In fact, this replaced that. There's probably a picture of them both together that I can put up. But obviously enough of the machine. We need some tools to go with it. And boy do I have a lot of tools. We have the hose. It is one of these style hoses, non-electric, with again the damage that they always seem to get. The S7 does this as well because it's the same design. It just wears so badly, which is a big shame. But there is the hose. Oh, the bag pull does work. Oh, I pulled this off. Oh, didn't want to do that. I'll fix that in a minute. That's all come apart. It's such a bad design on these. I'll be honest, the whole bag door latch, it's not very good. We'll leave that up there for now, and I'll take this off just so it doesn't keep flopping around. Yeah, in fact it's like a metallic finish on it. It's really very nice, although underneath isn't. It's just plastic, but they polish up really well. It's not painted on, which is good. So I'll put that out there, out of the way. What's next? Well, we have an extension wand, but not just any old extension wand that obviously normally just has those. This is the Tritex, I think it's called Tritex, but the triple extending wand, and this is ever so handy for doing the top of the ceiling of stairwells and whatnot, because this is huge. I can barely fit it all on camera. So there's that. That's very nice. But you can have it a few ways really. It depends on how. Obviously that side's got all the adjustments on it, and this side is just basically out or in. So I normally use it like that because it's long enough. But you could put that up there and just extend the normal telescopic part like that, and they all sit at the back and that sits at the front. So we have that. That's very nice to have. And then floor tools. Well, I've got rather a lot, and they're all in this box, which is actually from a toy Dyson vacuum cleaner that we used to have, which was terrible and fell apart. So if I get rid of some of this, let me show you what I've amassed over the years. We have, in fact we'll deal with that in a second, because that needs some work. We have the normal carpet and floor tool that it came with. That's the nice ratcheting one. Very good floor tool, that, very nice and big. That's your normal straight suction head. Then I have this, which is the Miele Electro Plus. This is the Electro Plus Seb 2162. And this was a bargain. I paid £20 for this with all the cable. In fact, there's a clip for it here which we need to fit on. But I've hacked it about, because it was originally just one long cable. If you wanted just to pop the hose off, just to pick something up, you had to de-wire the whole head. So I bought those, chopped the cable on the hose but just past the handle, So what I've got to do is just pull that apart and take the hose off, which is very handy indeed. So yes, that is my little toy. There's the power socket connector there. So this is a lovely, lovely head. It's also very filthy because I haven't actually cleaned it for years. So there's that. What else have we got? Oh, we have my favouriteest floor tool in the world, the Miele parquet twister. This is a lovely, lovely head. This is what got, as you can see from the state of it, all the use really when it was a daily, because we didn't have the carpet back then. We had the carpet in the hallway, so this was basically what was fitted. And then I used to keep one of the floor tools, this one, upstairs to fit on when we did upstairs. So yeah, we've got the Miele parquet twister. I've also got a normal parquet floor tool actually. Mum's got one of these. And you know, the parquet. This one doesn't say what it is, but yeah, we got that as well. That's what we used before we got this, and I've just kept it because it's nice. That twists, and it's very good, but it's not as good as the parquet twister itself. Like, you can put that sideways to go down things. It's very, very good, so that's nice, but stays in the box really. I've also obtained a few more tools since I last used this. We have, I think this is a genuine one. If not, I've got a genuine one, but this is a mini turbo brush. It says made in Germany. And it's 32. Oh, it's not. Ah, what's this from then? Ooh. I thought I had a little Miele turbo, but it's definitely one in the shed. So we'll park this for now. This seems to be 32mm. But I do have a Miele turbo tool. Well, that was rubbish. But I did get this. If you remember last year, when I had the Kirby, I think it was the Heritage, and all the random tools I got with that, the top of G5 tools that my dad bought me, this was inside. This is the, I think they call it the, like the mattress puzzle. And it basically is just a big upholstery tool. Very nice to use. It can go in the box as well, so we have no shortage of floor tools. What I also have, which again you've seen before, is the Akinova. Yes, the SAB 100. Oh, for those of you who know what those means, which is the battery powered, basically one like that. They did 3 styles of this: the Akinova, this, and then this with all the controls in the wiring for the Revolution vacuum cleaners, which I also have one of those. But the problem with the Akinova is that the batteries are terrible. This might be charged up enough for us to use. If you turn this on, you get a green light. But normally, as soon as you start to actually use it, I'll turn this down. Right, it's going to work today. Oh, there you go. Red light's gone on. Batteries are terrible, it inks them. This has currently got a very cheap Chinese battery in it, and I think because I haven't used it for literally years, it doesn't like it. So I bought, and this actually came this morning, a new battery for it. Again, a cheap Chinese one, because I don't quite see the point in spending out for a more expensive one that is probably going to be the same battery, because these are for Makita's. Makita drills uses battery, which means that they're quite cheap second hand again. This was only £10.99 delivered. And it's the same, it's slightly different, but exactly the same specs, 3000 milliamp hours, 7.2 volts. They never sit right. And that one seems to be completely dead, which isn't fully surprising. See, that one works. So I think it'll need to be charged up. Oh, that's the thing. Look, that's making... I shouldn't do that. Look there. What's he doing? Smells like fire, actually. Oh dear. I don't think that battery was much good. like so, this smells of burning now. Oh dear. 7.2 volts. Yeah, should be fine. Who knows? Should look into that, because that's not very healthy. Ooh, something smells burny. Oh, why do you smell burny? We should come back to that anyway, because even with a battery that's just burnt it out, which is quite annoying. In fact, I wonder it. Oh, hang on. Plus is at the top on this one. It's at the top on this one as well. Yeah, that doesn't work. And there's a very strong smell of acrid plastic from that now. It still works with this battery though, which is okay. Let's just check. Except it doesn't, because it's just killed it. So the AccuNova needs more work. And what I plan to do is, and in fact, there's a bit of a plea for my subscribers. If anybody's into remote control cars, could they get in contact? Because my ideal thing would be to get rid of these completely and wire in some sort of RC battery pack and charging solution to this. So I can just plug a power brick in and it charges it, fitting within that space there. So a bit more work to do on the AccuNova, which now might be dead, but it might not be. I've got the charger for the drill. They just sit in there like that. I'm not going to plug it in now, but I didn't get a charger for the AccuNova. So yes, there we go. We'll pop all these in there and put that away, because basically the only heads that we shall use on this are the parquet head and this. Let's get all this fitted, because it's a bit of a faff, I won't lie. I can see why the Revolution models were more fun, because it was all built in. But you basically take your plug, remove the blanking cap, which fits in a little slot down there. Then you put the plug in and basically just start clipping it to the hose. Clip it all the way along. Till you get to there. Right, then you get your wand. Check it's at the right height, because you can't adjust the wand once this is all done. Then you clip that there and clip the wire all the way up like that, and then the joining connection basically ends up just doing that. I mean, there's another clip here, so you can do that. And there is a clip here, so you could, if I can just fit it on, clip that under there and have it sort of dangling around like that. It's not the most elegant solution ever, but it works very well. And of course, being powered, you can have the needle on completely low and it still works just as fast. And it does groove quite nicely as well. I think it even fits, although it doesn't fit the parking bracket there. And there we go. That's quite nice. And of course, now we've got the split. If I did want to use the hose, you just pull that out, then you can take your hose off without having to de-wire the whole thing, which you had to do before. get some dirt down. So I've emptied some of Henry's bag, and I think Amy's been using Henry more than she said, because there's quite a lot of rice in amongst all the dirt. And obviously I don't use rice in my demos, so I'm not quite sure where that came from. We're going to stick it on medium on the machine, which is the sort of carpet setting, and we'll see how it goes. As you can see, no drama at all. This is an astonishingly good head. The Akinova works pretty much almost as well when it decides to work. Let's see if we can coax a few more seconds of life out of it. Oh, hang on, put the camera on the box, hello. Stay there. We won't try the new battery, we'll go with the one that at least doesn't smell like fire. Oh, we got the green light. No, straight into a red light. These really are very good, these heads. Something, it doesn't like something, and I quite like to change that. Especially with this one causing it such difficulty. Well, the burning smell subsided, but I don't think it's popped anything because it's still exhibiting exactly the same symptoms as it normally does with this. That is green. It is suction to make it work. There we go, straight to red. No, it just doesn't do anything because the battery is rubbish. So see a bit of Akinova, don't flipping bother. But apart from that and the small repair I now have to do to this, we have our machine sorted for January 2019. It's going to be quite nice going back to a familiar old friend who has served me so well for this long and has now been abandoned for ages. So, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye.